Least hospitable place. Oh, I think.
Okay, so hot air balloons, ATVs, great beaches, endless history, and wonderful food. But forget all that. What blew us away the most is Turkish hospitality. We can tell you all about our stories, but we felt it was better if you hear it from a local. We met with 3 of our viewers who are locals here to share why is Turkish people so hospitable. Well, thank you very much for being with us. Okay, my glasses are fogging now. Must be the nervous. No, it actually is working very well. Look, it goes away. But we are taken away by the hospitality that we have experienced in Turkey. Everybody's so welcoming, everybody's so nice. And it's not only in the touristic areas, even in neighborhoods, local neighborhoods like this. So why is being hospitable so important for Turkey and Turkish people? Like, how do you're born in this country and automatically you're super nice and welcome? Like, how does that happen?
I think it's. I wouldn't say it's being how you brought up or how you're told. It's just that's how you see, and that's why, and especially in Kadıköy where you're in right now, it's as you see the houses are really close to each other. So neighboring and neighborhood is a lot different. In US especially, the houses are a lot separate with each other. So instead of like in the big cities, people don't talk to each other, but they come from the rural areas where there's lots of gaps between the houses. So people don't mind their own businesses; they live in their own lives. But here it's not like that. So you're out of sugar. You don't call somebody to bring you. You just go to your neighbor and you ask for it. So there's a social interaction between the neighbors. That's why people are hospitable. Like you care about who you are, and if you're nice, if you know how to smile, and you like to talk, then everybody's willing to talk to you. When we see someone in need, we usually try to help. But, you cannot help everybody. It's just, and like I said, it's that social distance that we have. Turkish people have that social distance very close. So before the pandemics, we would hug each other, kiss each other and things like that. So in the US, you probably, if you do something like that, they will think you're gay.
Yes.
It's totally different here. Yes, there's problems just like everywhere else.
Like everybody else, yeah.
You don't go to a dark alley, and that's the same thing for every country. It doesn't matter. But when you're out in the open, like just these places, they're just great.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Emre, for being with
You're
us.
welcome. My pleasure. Turks believe visitors should be treated as guests sent by God. I think it's a cultural thing. For example, especially in smaller towns, if you go and knock just a total stranger's door and ask for spare room or food, you can get it.
It's a natural thing, yeah. We don't actually make extra effort to do it. Like, it's just not for foreigners too. Like, we do it to our own people too, like for our neighbors, the same way. So when someone comes that you had no plan with, like you were not expecting, you treat them good. So they'll treat you good too. Like, you'll exchange information, you'll have a talk, you'll help them. Then the satisfaction of helping them is just gonna make you happy.
Okay, I like that.
That's the truth about our business.
So it's like putting good energy, so good energy can come back to you. I like that.
It's amazing how it's all about just sharing good vibes and good energy, like it's natural. It's a natural thing out here, and it's just looking out for your neighbor and like just being kind to your fellow human. And I love that. I can always get behind something like that. But it doesn't just stop there. We also asked them to share some other behavioral examples of hospitality.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
So if you were to give me examples of how you show hospitality to your neighbors or to your friends or to somebody that is coming from outside, what is one example, one behavior that you could give me?
Every time you see them, keep saying hi or smiling them in the face, even you're not gonna meet or something, or they're passing by them, you just see them and smile. Give them a smile is a big thing. They make them happy, makes you happy, seeing them, knowing them he's or she is still living, and making them know that you are living too.
Yeah.
This is about sharing happiness. It's not like we're all, let's be happy, and we're not in that attitude, but respecting them, being there, and I don't know, it's pretty much it.
Yeah. It's
Smiling.
really important what you're saying right now, because a simple smile can change so much, right?
Exactly,
It
yes.
can make somebody's day even
Exactly,
better.
yes.
But then at the same time, I love that you're saying that, you know, show them that you're happy that they're alive and that
Yes.
you're alive. I remember when I moved to the US, it sounds like I'm always talking bad about the US, but I'm not. But it is true that whenever somebody asks you there, how are you? They don't mean to ask you, how are you? They're
Oh.
just saying hello.
Oh,
But in other cultures, like it could be in Spain or here in Turkey, when somebody asks you, how are you?
that conversation goes all the way.
Exactly.
It's
So
the
they
beginning of
really mean it.
conversation.
Yeah,
Yes.
they really mean it. So I think that that smile and that like is really important. We get a lot of comments in our channel saying that Istanbul is nice and everything, but everybody says if you think people in Istanbul is welcoming, wait until you go to the south or to the eastern area, because over there people is really welcoming.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they are more like touchy, more like open to talk to people, and they're
For
more
example,
welcoming.
if you were a visitor, their houses, they'll give you their own bed to spend the night. Like,
Wow.
Not even kidding.
That's outstanding.
Yes.
If you know askıda simit or askıda ekmek, it's a good example of Turkish hospitality. In Turkish house, there are like my in example of the guest room. Also, all the best is kept for the guests, like the silverware, the kitchenware, the china, and the room itself as well. In general, in smaller towns, if you go tourist as an American or doesn't matter, or a local Turkish local, they will help you out.
That's amazing.
It will help
I
you
love
out.
that. Okay, so in Spain, if a family member or a friend asks you for help, absolutely, you're gonna go out of your way to help them. And I even remember when I was growing up how neighbors would knock on each other's house door and like ask for things like salt and sugar, or maybe to share a dish, like the dish of the day or something like that. That was such a beautiful memory from my childhood. But I don't think I have ever experienced somebody opening the doors to strangers, or to let them sleep in their bedroom, or to cook them a meal. Like that's something that, wow, it's just not something I experienced. But we're curious about you and in your country. Is this something that happens over there? Leave it in the comments below. Now, our last question was their worst and their best hospitable experience when they were traveling outside of Turkey.
Right off the bat, I mean, like us, I would say Japan.
Oh, really?
That's the only place that I have seen people will go out their way to help people. So I had really good experience out there. But other than like these two countries, you have to like a little work. So if you're in the same place for more than like a month, maybe 2 months, 3 months, then people become hospitable again. Least hospitable place, oh, I think Germany.
Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And there is a huge Turk community in
Well,
Germany.
There's a joke in Turkish that says Germany is the third biggest city in Turkey.
Yeah.
Like what, 4, 5 million
Yeah.
Turks living there. So that's actually true. But I mean, and if you go to Germany, you will see that on the metro, Turkish is on the top list to explain things. Then it's German and English. So, but I always feel it's cold. I don't know. The Turks are cold as well. It's not. It's just. I think it became. They're too mechanized.
Yeah.
Germans. But I mean, they're good people when you get to know them. Same thing. I mean, it just takes a long time for them to trust you and to do the things, because they really they have this how do you say, the rules for them is everything. They wrote something, they obey it, and if they do something, they write it. Actually, the correct way of doing it. It's just not the social way. The more you spend time, most people are like to put a distance between you and them. But after they see you more and more, they get used to it. I don't know which is better. I can't say if one is correct and the other is not.
It's just different ways.
Exactly. I mean, it's the safer way to do it, the way they do it, so you can observe. But I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't mind losing a little money to learn someone is good or bad.
I have a chance of being over like 20 different countries.
Wow.
And I think Brazilians and Bosnians are really hospitable and friendly. I was staying at a hostel, small hostel. It was nighttime. I went out to get dinner and then I came back, but I couldn't find my way back to hostel. And there was not much English speaker or Turkish. I asked a few people, they didn't understand me. I asked for the hotel and then there was one guy who sells like stationery, stationery for school. and he closed down his shop. He closed down his shop, and took me to place. It was nice.
I think there is, I believe, and I want to keep believing this, is that there is more good people in the world. The majority of the world is good
Yeah,
versus the bad.
exactly.
But we just don't see it because what sells on TV, on media, is the bad
Yes,
stuff.
media. Yes.
But that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Now, I can't believe that Germany was actually on that list, but I can understand it because it's kind of how it felt when I got to Serbia for the first time. When
Yeah.
I think about it, like they seemed a little unapproachable, but the second you say hi or share a smile with them, you might as well take a seat and prepare your stomach because you just made a friend and they're gonna just tell you so many stories and share history over what may seem like endless amount of entree, like food just coming at you along with rakia.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just, they're just gonna feed you.
You gotta prepare your stomach
Yeah,
and your
you're gonna-
liver, I
yeah,
guess.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what you gotta do. And Emre's story during his time in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and that story is awesome.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm saying it right because I really like that. Like Herzegovina, that's kind of
Bosnia.
Bosnia. It's sexy. It's a sexy
Yeah.
name. Like it sounds like two female top flight assassins. You don't want Bosnia and
So
Herzegovina.
you think
coming
that
after you.
two females assassins are sexy? That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
They have to be assassins.
Well, I mean, listen, you just in my head, it's sexy in my head. That's all that matters. But again, it's amazing. But also, I'm looking forward to going to Bosnia and Herzegovina now because I got to try some burek there because in our Serbia videos, we had talked about when we had
Cheese burek.
cheese burek.
And meat burek,
And meat
which,
burek.
by the way, those are the names in Serbia. But we got several messages saying what?
It was hilarious. They
Yeah.
said that every time somebody says a cheese burek, somewhere in the world a Bosnian dies, and that died. But it made me look so forward to trying burek now when we go to Bosnia and
Yeah.
Herzegovina.
And cheese pie, because
And
it's
cheese-
not cheese burek.
Cheese pie, that's right. And again, just the hospitality here in Turkey is just amazing and unbelievable because everyone that we met was just awesome. They took time out of their day to come spend it with us and take us around, show us things, talk with us, and in some cases, take us everywhere in Istanbul. Like Serdar spent his entire day with us, and we just met. Like he took us all over Istanbul, driving us around and
We
showing us.
went all the way to the Anatolian side of Istanbul, which is the Asian side, and we drove all the way to the Black Sea. And that was like one of my dreams, to see the Black Sea.
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I know it might sound like he seems like a saint, but don't be fooled, people. There was a lot of walking involved. The man is diabolical, okay? But seriously, thank you so much, Serdar. Thank you, Emre, for coming out there, and Ahmed. We really appreciate you guys coming out there to spend time with us. Don't forget to check out Emre's channel. He is Walkie Talkie. No, Walkie Turkey.
Turkey,
Walkie Turkey.
no talkie.
I know, Walkie Turkey. He shows what it's like walking through different areas of Turkey. Well, Istanbul for the
Yeah.
most part. And I got to commend him because in my eyes, he's a true hero because you get to see what it's like. For those that suffer from I ain't walking that much anitis, it's great for you. That's the perfect channel to see
Yeah,
it.
so you can walk through others.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. See what it's like. But guys, give this video a like if you enjoy the hospitality of different countries.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, that's exactly how you say it.
Hospitability.
There you go. Subscribe to connect more. And as always, remember to live the life you want, love the life you live, and travel.
Mamuchas out.
All this is to make you walk. It's all, yeah.
She's like, oh, there was parking spaces here. Oh, well. It was for Lila's to exercise.
Like, yeah, we were gonna make Lila's walk.
That's true.
That's how we look at it.
Yeah.
Okay? Recycling is good. Right, man, you're filming. Those are glass recyclers. So,
What's the difference between the green and the white one, though?
the green is for glass, the white is for plastic.
Okay. What do you ask for? The one with potatoes?
Plus we got potatoes. It's good. Add some like sauce or whatever. Yeah, it's perfect. Very good by itself.
I'm sure you're thinking about ketchup, you American.
So what? You don't know me something?